Senator Jensen.
Testing. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Senator Osmick, for bringing this bill forward. Perhaps it's time for a pause. The reason we're having this discussion is because the governor of Minnesota has been able to unilaterally make all the decisions that are necessary in this difficult time. The way the legislation presently sits, the only way to change that is if both the House and the Senate would move to do so. But with divided legislature, that's not going to happen. Senator Osmick has proposed that the legislation be changed so that both the House and the Senate would have to reaffirm the emergency order to allow the governor to continue as he is. Right now we have 201 legislators, and I would say that at least 195 of them believe that they're fairly impotent to impact on where we are and what's going to happen. The leadership does the best job they can to allow, if you will, the rank and file members of the Senate and the House to contribute and to put forth their opinion. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to get 201 people into a room, and when you're doing Zoom meetings and everything else, it becomes even more difficult. So we're being told, trust the experts, trust the governor. Well, recently we learned that Marina Kirkheid was a recent graduate in mathematics at the University of Minnesota when she was solicited to participate in a task that sounded pretty nifty. She and another graduate of the University of Minnesota were asked, would you like to do some modeling and help prepare the documents and the metrics that will allow Governor Walz to determine how he's going to weave his way through the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months? She jumped at the chance. In fact, she said this, I don't think a lot of researchers get to work on something over the weekend and have public figures talk about it and make decisions based on it 3 days later. Congratulations, Marina. We have over 650,000 Minnesotans unemployed. We've absolutely imploded our economy. But I'm really glad that you got to participate, especially with your broad breadth of experience in healthcare. I know you're going to medical school this fall, but when I looked high and low on the internet for what experience you had in healthcare, I saw that you marched in a May Day parade dressed up as a cow puppet. And I saw that you made some denigrating remarks about the University of Minnesota research program in regards to how they treated animals after the University of Minnesota found itself under the spotlight using animals for human research to try to find the answers to diseases so that we can help 5-year-olds grow up to be 10 years old, and so we can help 24-year-olds get to be 44-year-olds someday. So trust the experts. On April 8th, 5 weeks ago, Governor Walz said this when he extended his stay-at-home order to May 4th. We can say with 95% confidence that we are going to need a minimum of 3,000 beds starting in the middle of May. Okay, it's May 15th. Can we concede the point? We're in the middle of May. 3,000 beds, huh? COVID-19 patients aren't using 500 beds. We have the wherewithal in this state to ramp up our hospital capacity within 48 hours, and we can have literally 2,500 ICU beds available. We're not using 200. We have ventilators that will never be unpacked. Trust the experts. Trust the mathematics graduate in her early 20s with their breadth of healthcare experience. But fear not, Minnesota. We're number one. We're absolutely leading the country when you look at the share of our COVID-19 deaths that have occurred in the long-term care facilities. When Wisconsin has 41%, and when Florida has 29%, and when California has 38%, Minnesota stands tall at 84% of our COVID-19 deaths have occurred in people in long-term care facilities. So we have excelled. Trust the experts. What we're trying to do today is we're saying, please, Mr. Governor, can we work alongside of you? Can we help own some of those calculated risks? We don't legislate through polls and approval ratings. Senator Frentz and many other senators in his caucus have tremendous amount to contribute. And there are people in our caucus that have a tremendous amount to contribute, and in the other body. But frankly, we're not being given a chance. I haven't gotten a phone call or a response from the governor's office in 3 or 4 weeks, and I think I heard that theme recur throughout the discussion today. So what this discussion is about at the end of the day, more than anything else, it's about 201 elected legislators saying, we'd like to play a part. Because quite frankly, right now, we are absolutely impotent. And that's not the way Minnesota wants it to be, regardless of any damn approval rating.